What's up everyone, we're going to be going through the best NBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now don't forget to like this video as it does let me know to continue to give you free picks every day, so make sure to like this video clicking that button down below, and if we get 550 likes I will do another video for tomorrow. Now I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group, and as you guys see we actually got 22 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. Now a lot of you comment wanting to see how many I got wrong, and I thought I'd show you in today's video. We only got one pick wrong, got 22 right, which is a 98% win rate. Yes guys, you heard that right, 98% win rate. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get a 98% win rate and get 22 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon. Should be a link down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $1,056 just yesterday. Another member who won $150 for the 6th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description. So go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group. And I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout out to Chef Press 5235 who said let's get this shmoney. So shouts out to them, and if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below on this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. Alright, so let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're talking about is none other than Brandon Miller, and this one is for points, rebounds, and assists, or PRA, for 25.5, and this one actually is for more. Now looking at Brandon Miller, we actually have seen him go on the over in 3 out of the last 5 games. So he has gone on the over in 3 out of the last 5, and we have seen him do a fantastic job over those last 5. We do see December 15th actually faced off against Cleveland Cavaliers. Now in that matchup actually had a 44 points, rebounds, and assists there. December 19th faced off against Atlanta, had 39 points, rebounds, and assists. Then a 21 PRA against Detroit Pistons on December 21st. After that, Cleveland Cavaliers on December 23rd and had 24 points, rebounds, and assists. Then 28 PRA against Washington Wizards on December 24th, or on Christmas Eve. So we actually have seen Brandon Miller do a great job over the last 5 games. As I mentioned, he's gone on the over in 3 out of the last 5, but what we also do see when it comes to this matchup is that Brandon Miller and the Charlotte Hornets face off against Orlando Magic. So looking at both of these teams and where both of these teams do actually land, starting off with actually Charlotte Hornets and where they do rank. Charlotte Hornets have had themselves a great start to the season. Now, a lot of people are expecting pretty big things from, Charlotte this season, but it hasn't really worked out the way they have because they currently rank 12th in the Eastern Conference. So, unfortunately, they have struggled a little bit. They are continuing to push as they do currently are at 10 wins and 20 losses. That's a 33.3% win percentage there. 7-8 from home, 3-12 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So they've definitely done a fantastic job in those matchups. However, they haven't really been able to translate to wins as they do currently rank 12th, and they face off against an Orlando Magic team that do rank, a little bit better as they rank 6th in the Eastern Conference. Now they actually have a record of 17 wins and 13 losses. That's a 56.7% win percentage there. They are also 10-4 from home, 7-8 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So very interesting to see there. Obviously, looking at someone like Brandon Miller and also Charlotte Hornets, they face off against an Orlando Magic team that do rank defensively. Starting off with points allowed, we see that the Magic rank 12th, so they rank really good there, only allowing 114.8 points per game. Looking at assists allowed, we see that Orlando Magic rank 8th, only allowing 24.9 assists a game. Then rebounds allowed, we see Magic also rank very well as they rank 11th, only allowing 42.7 rebounds per game. So we have actually seen Orlando Magic do a fantastic job at restricting points, at restricting rebounds, and also assists. So why do we like the over for this situation here? Now, when we look on a more, I would say more specific basis, we do see Orlando Magic do struggle at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the forward position. And we definitely are expecting someone like Brandon Miller to be able to take advantage of this and go on the over here. Now, Miller has taken a little bit of a different increased type of role as of lately. We have seen him get a lot more opportunities to score, more opportunities to rebound, and also opportunities to play make. And it definitely has translated to a lot more on the stat sheet, which is why we have seen him go on the over quite consistently. And even the times that he has gone on the under, he's gotten very close, which is what we like to see. Now, his average over the last 5 definitely shows an increase in his usage rate, actually, averaging 31.2 PRA. So he's definitely done a fantastic job there. And that's why just coming into this next matchup, we do very much like the over for it. Now, Charlotte are a pretty fast-paced team, and although Orlando are a little bit slower, we are expecting Orlando to actually go up to Charlotte's pace, which definitely should lead to Brandon Miller and Charlotte Hornets having a similar amount of pace and that similar sort of fast pace that we usually do see from them. So a faster paced game leads to more volume and more opportunity to score, rebound, and assist, especially for someone like Brandon Miller. Now, looking at Brandon Miller and looking what the pros actually have to say about it. Now, obviously, we have him at actually 25.5, but they have him at 26.5 in the points, rebounds, and assists category here. So we can't really look at the bookies as it is a little bit different there, but we do actually see that the projection that they do have for him is 25.1 for points, rebounds, and assists. So we are going against what the projection is saying right here. When we look at the last 15 games, we have actually seen him just slightly hit on the over the last 15 of 53%. He's gone on the over, so I think that's great to see there. But coming into this matchup, as I mentioned before, I think when we look on a per position basis, we should see him be able to beat this projection and go on the over in this situation here. So definitely keep an eye out for Brandon Miller coming into this game. Now, Brandon Miller has also not only just done a fantastic job over the last 5, but we have seen him really do a great job against teams that do struggle at restricting his position. So we are expecting Brandon Miller to be able to take advantage of this and go on the over there. So for that reason, Brandon Miller, 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists for more, I think is a fantastic pick. All right, so getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about none other than Caleb Love, and this one is for points, rebounds, and assists for 15.5, and this one actually is for more. Now, looking at Caleb Love, we actually have seen him go on the over in 1 out of the last 5 games. Now, 1 out of the last 5, we do see December 15th faced off against the Golden State Warriors and actually had 12 points, rebounds, and assists there. Then December 19th faced off against Sacramento Kings, had a 7 points, rebounds, and assists game. Then 2 PRA against Sacramento Kings, again off a back-to-back on December 21st. Then December 23rd faced off against Detroit Pistons, had 12 points, rebounds, and assists. And then on Christmas Eve against Orlando Magic, had a 21 points, rebounds, and assists there. So we have seen Caleb Love go on the over, as I mentioned, in 1 out of the last 5. Now, it definitely has been interesting to see because we do also know that Caleb Love over the last 5 has only averaged 10.8. So it is slightly below this line, but we still do very much like the over. And getting into why, starting off with their matchup, we do know that the Portland Trailblazers find themselves in a really good matchup against the LA Clippers. So, looking at where both of these teams do lie, starting off with Portland. Now, Portland have done a pretty decent job due to the fact that not many people think they would be in this position, but they currently are in striking distance of a playoff spot because they currently rank 10th in the Western Conference. So, they've definitely done a better job than people expected. Still nothing really to be excited about just yet, but I think they have surprised a lot of people. They have a record of 12 wins, 18 losses. That's a 40% win percentage there, and they're also 5-8 from home, 7-10 from away, and are currently on a 2-game losing streak. So very, very interesting to see from them. Now, looking at Portland and also Caleb Love, they definitely have or are continuing to try to push and get more wins under their belt. Now, they do actually face off against the LA Clippers. Now this has actually surprised a lot of people because LA Clippers have struggled quite a lot this season, that they find themselves in the 13th spot in the Western Conference. Now, they have a record of 8 wins and 21 losses. That's a 27.6% win percentage there. They're also 5-8 from home, 3-13 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. So very, very interesting to see there. Now coming into this matchup, we do also know when it comes to actually Caleb Love and facing off against the LA Clippers, we do see LA Clippers rank starting off with points allowed. LA Clippers do actually rank pretty poorly in that sense, as they do come in at the 14th spot, allowing 115.7 points per game. Then looking at assists allowed, we see that they rank 13th, so somewhat decent, actually allowing 26.5 assists a game. And then they rank 8th in rebounds allowed, allowing 42.4 rebounds per game. So a little bit worse in points, a little bit better in assists, and even better in rebounds. Now coming into this matchup for someone like Caleb Love, we do still very much like the over for this situation here. Now a big reason why we do like the over for this situation here is due to the fact that when we look at a team like LA Clippers, they do a very, very poor job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the guard position. So for that reason, we do very much like the over for this situation here. For someone like Caleb Love, we have seen him do a decent job in that most recent game against Orlando for sure. And the reason why we have seen him struggle at times, especially, over the last 5, is that some of those games, his definite usage rate has been a lot lower, as he has faced off against tougher teams that do a great job at restricting guards. So it's definitely taken a huge hit on his actual usage rate out there. But now with an easier matchup like Clippers, when it comes to restricting the guard position, we should see Caleb Love be able to take advantage of this, no doubt about it. So definitely keep an eye out for the over for this one for someone like Caleb coming into this game. Now when we look at someone like LA Clippers and the Portland Trailblazers, we do also know coming into this matchup that LA Clippers also we do see like to push the pace as much as they can. And Portland Trailblazers are kind of the same as well. Since they are going to be pushing the pace as much as they can, we are expecting them coming into this matchup to actually go on the over, due to the fact that more pace leads to more volume and more opportunity to score, rebound, and also play make. Now, looking at also Caleb Love and what the pros do have to say about it. Now, they don't actually have a line out him for just yet, in a sense that the bookies haven't actually come out with a projection just yet for them. But still, when it actually comes to, actually Caleb Love, we have seen him do a fantastic job at times. In other games has definitely been a little bit more poor. So obviously, it is going to be very situational. He has gone a little bit of a slow streak. And of course, he's gone on the under quite consistently. But now we do believe that it's pushed this line a little bit too low, that now there's a lot more value actually to go on the over. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for the over for someone like Caleb Love coming into this game. So Caleb Love, 15.5 points, rebounds, and assists for more, I think is a fantastic pick. So getting into the next one, we are going to be talking about none other than Devin Booker. So this one is a great one for actually points, rebounds, and assists again. So we've been loving the PRA lately, but this one is for points, rebounds, and assists for 38.5, and this one actually is for less. Now, looking at Devin Booker, we actually have seen him go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we see on December 2nd, faced off against the LA Lakers, had 16 points, rebounds, and assists there. Then after that, December 15th, faced off against the LA Lakers, also had a 40 points, rebounds, and assists game there. December 19th, faced off against the Golden State Warriors, had 29 points, rebounds, and assists. Then December 21st, faced off against Golden State Warriors, had 14 points, rebounds, and assists. And then a 34 PRA, or points, rebounds, and assists, against LA Lakers on December 24th. So we actually have seen Devin Booker go on the under, as I mentioned, in 3 out of the last 5 games. What we also do see is that the average over the last 5 is also 32.6. So we have seen Devin Booker struggle just a little bit coming into these games. And looking at Phoenix Suns, they do have themselves a very good matchup against the New Orleans Pelicans. So looking at both these teams and where both of these teams do rank, starting off with Phoenix have put on quite a show, and they've impressed everybody, because not many people thought they would be in this position, but they are currently in the playoff picture, coming in at the 7th spot in the Western Conference and have a record of 16 wins and 13 losses. So that's a 55.2% 82% win percentage there. They're also 10-5 from home, 6-8 from away, and also are currently on a 1-game win streak. So very, very interesting to see there. Now they face off against the Pelicans, who do come in at the 14th spot in the Western Conference, and they have a record of 8 wins and 23 losses. That's a 25.8% win percentage there. And on top of that, 6-12 from home, 2-11 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. So very, very interesting to see there. Now, coming into this matchup, we do also know that New Orleans Pelicans have also struggled defensively, but we are, there is a bit of a twist to it, because looking at New Orleans Pelicans, we do see when it comes to points allowed, they do actually rank 27th, allowing 122.8 points per game. So unfortunately, that's really poor there. When we look at actually assists allowed, we see that the Pelicans also rank pretty poorly, only ranking 28th, allowing 29.2 assists per game. And then Pelicans rebounds allowed do also rank somewhat similar, a little bit on the lower side, and rank 23rd, allowing 45.4 rebounds per game. So they rank very poorly, but why do we like the under for someone like Devin Booker? And the big reason being is that when we look at New Orleans Pelicans, we do actually see they do a fantastic job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the guard position. And we definitely see that being a huge factor there. But also coming into this one, what we also do see when it comes to actually Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker is the main player. And what we have seen time and time again with New Orleans Pelicans is that they actually do a very, very good job at trying to slow down and restrict star players from their other team. Now, Pelicans like to focus in on stars, slow them down as much as possible, and actually have the role players do a lot more of the heavy lifting. And that's what's happened to, someone like Devin Booker time and time again over these last couple of games. He's faced off against Lakers, he's faced off against Warriors, and Warriors actually do a similar sort of strategy, same with the Lakers, and that's why we have only seen him be able to go on the over only a couple of times. And some of those matchups where he did go on the over, it wasn't really that convincing enough to us. So coming into this next one, we are expecting Pelicans to do roughly the same, and once again, Devin Booker definitely may struggle from it. So that's why coming into this matchup, we do very, very much like the under here. Now, for someone like Devin Booker, we also do know when it comes to actually his usage rate, it has been a bit on the lower side in that sense, due to the fact that we just have seen him be a little bit more passive when a lot of defensive pressure is on him, and have other players in this Phoenix team to do a little bit of that heavy lifting as well. So it's definitely a bit of both of play style, game plan, and all those different things wrapped up into one. That's why we do like the under for it for this situation here. Now, when we look at what the pros are saying, now we do actually have it here, points, rebounds, and assists for 37.5, while we have it for 38.5. So it is a little bit different in that sense. So obviously it is a little bit hard to go off the bookies since they are a bit of a different line, but we are going against the projection here, because the projection they have is 40.2 for points, rebounds, and assists. So we are going against that due to the fact that when we look at other factors coming into this game, it definitely does look more likely for the under for this one for sure. Now, looking at the last 15, you definitely see something pretty similar, because he has gone on the over only a couple of times and has gone on the under quite consistently. He's only gone on the over 26% of the last 15 games. So it hasn't really looked too good for us. And it's not that Devin Booker is a bad player, but it does seem that this Suns team do like to play a little bit of team basketball, not really just rely on Devin Booker here, which is what has led to Devin Booker to be able to go to work, at times, and other times just do a little bit more of sidelining and have other players in this Phoenix team do a little bit of the heavy lifting. So coming into this matchup, we are expecting a similar sort of outcome that he's experienced over the last 15. And the fact that he faces off against a Pelicans teams whose main focus defensively is to try to restrict him as much as they can, we definitely see that affecting him greatly. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for this line for someone like Devin Booker coming into this game. See a lot of value there to go on the under. So Devin Booker, 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists for less, I think is a fantastic pick. So getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Neemias Queta. Now, you may have heard of him, may have never heard of him before, but he has been a great player for the Boston Celtics and has definitely been a great X factor for them. But this one is for 18.5, another PRA for points, rebounds, and assists, and this one actually is for more. So as I mentioned, I just want to show you the best plays of today, and all of them are PRA for today, and it's just that's the case for it. But looking at Neemias, we've actually seen him go on the over in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we do see December 12th faced off against the Milwaukee Bucks, had a 19 points, rebounds, and assists there. December 16th faced off against Detroit, actually had 14 points, rebounds, and assists. Then December 20th faced off against Miami, had 16 points, rebounds, and assists. Then 19 points, rebounds, and assists against Toronto on December 21st. And then December 23rd faced off against Indiana and had 18 points, rebounds, and assists. So it's definitely been pretty interesting to see. Obviously, looking at someone like Neemias, he has seen him go on the over in actually 2 out of the last 5. But what we also do know when it comes to actually, Neemias Queta, we do know that his average over the last 5 is also 17.2, so slightly below it. And the times he has gone on the under, you do also have to realize that those times he's gone on the under, he's definitely gotten very close. Some of them he's only missed by 0.5, even sometimes only 2.5, so he's gotten very, very close, which is what we like to see. But coming into this matchup, we do know that Boston Celtics find themselves in a very good matchup against Indiana Pacers. Now, it is going to be a great matchup between both of these teams. Now, looking at and starting off with Boston Celtics, we have seen Boston Celtics climb their way back, and they've actually done a fantastic job because they currently rank 3rd in the Eastern Conference. A lot of people weren't expecting this from Boston, but they've done a stupendous job getting to that 3rd spot in the Eastern Conference. They rank there and also have an 18-win, 11-loss record. They are also a 62.1% win percentage team, also 10-5 from home, 8-6 from away, and are currently on a 3-game win streak. So they've definitely done a fantastic job there. Now, coming into this matchup, we do also know they face off against Indiana Pacers, where Pacers unfortunately don't really rank that well. Now, Pacers come in at the 14th spot in the actual Eastern Conference. They've struggled quite a bit, also having a record of 6 wins, 24 losses, and also have a 20% win percentage. They're 5-11 from home, 1-13 from away, and are currently on a 6-game losing streak. So very, very interesting to see there. Now, looking at this matchup, we do also know that when it comes to Boston Celtics and Indiana Pacers, looking at Indiana and where they do rank defensively, starting off with points allowed, we see that the Pacers come in at the 21st spot, allowing 117.7 points per game. So they definitely struggle quite a bit there. When it comes to assists allowed, they rank 4th, allowing only 24.6 assists per game, so they've done a great job there. But then Pacers also, when it comes to rebounds allowed, do rank a little bit worse as they rank 28th, allowing 47.8 rebounds per game. So Indiana Pacers are inherently a very, very poorly defensive team. Yes, they do a pretty good job at rebounds, but that doesn't really equate to the fact that they do a poor job at rebounds, poor job at points, and Neemias does actually have a little bit more of a better usage rate in those 2 categories than the other. Now, Indiana Pacers also do very much struggle at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the center position. And this is definitely due to the fact that when it comes to Indiana, they did lose Miles Turner. He was a huge asset defensively for the big men, and I don't think that Indiana have been able to find a replacement for him. So they've definitely struggled at restricting, the PRA categories to the center position, and we are expecting Neemias to be able to take advantage of it. Now, Neemias, you may have, as I mentioned, never heard of him before, but he's definitely become a huge asset for this Boston team because he's been providing a lot of scoring, a lot of rebounding, and playmaking at times, and it's definitely been a huge asset on why Boston have won so much. So coming into this next matchup, we should see Neemias be able to take advantage of it and go on the over here due to the fact that we have seen him, really stay consistent at getting close to this line. And like I've mentioned before, even when he does go on the under, he's getting very, very close, which is what we like to see. Now, looking at Neemias and what the bookies also have to say, We do actually see, now obviously we have him for 18.5. Now the pros do have it at 19, but what we also do know is that it is a little bit different due to the fact that, the line is different, so the bookies number are going to be different, but projection wise, they have him projected for 19.5. We have him for 18.5, so he is actually expected to go on the over in this game. There are a couple of injuries for Boston, so we are also expecting Neemias to have a little bit more of a higher usage rate than he's usually used to, which should definitely lead to the over here. Now, when we look at the last 15, yes, we have seen him struggle in some games, but you do also have to realize that he has struggled against teams that do a great job at restricting, points, rebounds, and assists. Now, they did have a most recent game against Indiana, as we've mentioned, where he did only have 18 and just hit 18 and missed by 0.5. Now, there are going to be games like that. We consider these a little bit more of unexpected outcomes, and these games definitely do happen. That's just the nature of sports. But coming into this, once again, we are expecting Neemias to hit very close, and now, this time, make those adjustments and finally be able to go on the over here. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the over, even though last matchup they faced off against, he only missed it by 0.5. 0.5 isn't really not enough for us to say that, oh, he won't be able to go on the over this next time around. So for that reason, Neemias Queta, 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists for more, I think is a fantastic pick.